Yo guys, I'm very happy to finally be able to show you guys the newest, strongest Amalgam build out there. Trailblazer plus Viper. The sustain is really good, but on top of that, you have the same amount of Trailblazer, full like Trailblazer damage, but you also have some Viper mix in there, giving you strike damage. And you're really able to just nuke people really well. It's even able to kill supports one-on-one. So the damage of this build is really good. The only thing that this build kind of falls short is it only has 2 stun breaks, which is Gaseous State and Cleanse Protocol. Besides that, most of the time you want to use this to cleanse conditions or reduce the strike damage you take. So using one of those for the other means you already lose a stun break or 2 and then you have 0 left. And then you're really reliant on being really good with your dodges, with your evades, and with your blocks and reflects. Most of our mobility comes from Traveler Rune together with the offensive protocol Shred that gives us super speed when we evolve, but then obviously also Gaseous State helps really well with escaping. Since there is no better offensive relic, I went with Relic of the Fractal. These numbers are, by the way, PvE, not Wolf vs. World. They're kind of bugged in this tooltip. But together with this and Incendiary Powder, you know, we get some nice stacking burning every so often. On top of our spear damage, of course. Since we are hybrid, Blast Shield is pretty good to give us value in our HP. We use High Caliber to increase our crit chance up close. Thermal Vision is pretty good, but you can just use No Scope to increase your damage even more on the strike side of things. But I think I want to increase the Colony damage more over than the strike damage, since the Colony damage is definitely your main source of damage here. Then we use Stainless Steel for the cleansing. I usually like to use my Evolve as an engage offensively, but besides that, after the engage, I always try to keep my Evolve as a cleanse, specifically for Stainless Steel here, which will convert 2 conditions into boon. Not very long, but one nonetheless. We use Carbolic Composition, which is pretty good honestly, with Shred giving us a bit of damage here, but then also of course our Flux State and our Liquid State. I use Liquid State obviously as a dodge, but I always try to use it, you know, on top of an enemy for that extra damage. It really like goes a long way to do that. And yeah, besides that, our spear skills just have a really high amount of strike and especially colony damage. And if you can see in the clips in the background, we just really melt people really fast. To show off the sheer amount of damage, I wanted to show it here against this golem. Look at the arc DPS, just like above. The DPS itself is pretty fine, but if you do a proper combo, here and there people will dodge, but they can't dodge everything, and eventually they will just die to all these conditions and strike damage, and everything added up together in those 15 seconds of animations that you do for casting skills, you do 120k damage. Really, all of this together helps us really pump up some really nice numbers without sacrificing like sustain too much. You know, we still have the best amount of sustain I could possibly like go for. We have a shield to block, we have this to evade, this evades, Gaseous State to reduce strike damage taken, cleanses here and there, and then Reflect is really nice against range skills and the barrier on top of that. But I really like to use Symbiotic Shielding right as Mitotic State finishes casting, so that together I get the barrier and the heal. This is a rather larger barrier. It's easier to get that 20% increased healing going on. But if you have to keep this because you're going up against a ranged class, it might be better for that. But I really like just combining the two of them together if I know I'm just only going up against a melee build, for example, a melee opponent. Alright, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, I hope you guys liked the build showcase. It's not yet a guide. I will be waiting until the January patch for making a real guide. But for now, this is just a build showcase. The next build I plan to showcase will be a full grieving plus demo build. It's kind of like the opposite side of this build. Instead of being like mostly condi heavy, this is going to be mostly power heavy build with some side of condition. And on top of that, we have like a good amount of like 20 to 25 might going on almost permanently. Really good strike damage. So look out for that one maybe next week or so. And then keep your eyes peeled or your ears peeled for a community montage announcement. I'm still setting it up. And enjoy the rest of the footage. It's just me running away from 3 people.